So when you're making an apple pie, you don't have to do a top crust for it. You can do it's kind of a crumble crust. And so all you need is a half a cup of flour and a third of a cup of brown sugar, a fourth of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a dash of nutmeg. Huh, that's better. A dash. And then let's see. That's all for this part of it. And first we're gonna stir up the all the dry ingredients. I'm using a fork because I'm gonna add some butter to it and kind of cut it into the dry ingredients. You can use a pastry cutter or a fork or whatever. Hello, hello, bathrobe guy. So I'm this is the only baking video probably I'm gonna do this week. So I since I was gonna make this anyway for Thanksgiving tomorrow and then bring it to my family's house for Thanksgiving. And I figured I might as well just go ahead and go live and show you the topping that I'm making. So there's the dry ingredients, and it takes a fourth of a cup, which is 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna use a fork to kind of uh, just cut that into the dry ingredients. The good thing about this, at least the one I'm making, is I didn't have to go out and buy much because I had already canned the apples. I had already made the crust, and I had some frozen pecans. I had pecans in the freezer already, and that's going to go in this as well. So I didn't have to go out and buy anything extra because I had it all, which is very good because I am on a tight budget. I just got a notification today that one of my paid subscribers ended their subscription. So, oh, so that's kind of a downer. But um, if you want to, if you like my videos and you want to support me, please uh, go to my publication. It is Brandon Elrich is so gay. Oh, I guess I didn't introduce myself at the beginning. Kind of assume sometimes that people already know who I am, but like I'm like I'm some big celebrity or something. No, not so much. But I am Brandon Elrich, and my publication is Brandon Elrich is so gay. And I may end up kind just working with my hands with this. That it always seems easier to do it that way. I'm gonna wash them real quick. I mean, I washed them before, but I've been handling stuff, and it doesn't hurt to wash them again, right? Plus, I always think, when you put something in the oven, it's probably gonna probably gonna bake off all the germs, right? That's kind of my justification. But either way, um, what? You're gay? LOL. No, no, no. Yes, yes, I am. As crazy as it might sound, as hard to believe as it might be. Yes. All right. Yeah, it does work. I think it works a lot better with your hands. So after you get the butter worked in there, you don't need to, it's not going to be smooth. You don't need it to be smooth. You can have little chunks of butter. I think that'll be good on the top anyway. So it's basically going to be like, make it so it's like coarse sand. See that? Lovely. And then I've chopped up these pecans. This is a third of a cup of chopped pecans. And I'm going to go ahead and add those to the topping mix. And since my hands have already been in there, might as well just use those to mix the pecans into it. Is this where we chant "work it, work it"? Well, you can, yeah. Work it, work it, working in the pecans now. All right, so that's all we need to do with that. And there's the pie, and we just sprinkle this on top of the pie. Try to sprinkle it evenly over the top. So what are any of you making for Thanksgiving? For those of you celebrating Thanksgiving in the United States, are you preparing anything this evening for any dinners tomorrow? Ah, that looks so good. Yes, I hope it will be. With the butter in there and the brown sugar, I think once it bakes, it'll be so good. And trying to cover all of the apple filling. And if you don't have canned apples, I mean, like I I um hand or home canned the apples that I picked from the tree. But if you don't have that, you can always buy a can of apple pie filling and you can buy a crust. This one's homemade. I always prefer to have my stuff homemade if I can, but you know, sometimes you may not have time or the money or whatever. I had I had this one already in the freezer, this pie crust. Already had the can of apples. Okay. So, this is the topping. I prefer this type of topping to a solid crust topping. I think it tastes better and I think it looks good. So that's my preference. So this is going to go in the oven for like 45-ish minutes. I'm going to start it with 45 minutes and check on it, see how it goes. And actually, because it's this uh, foil pan, I'm going to get a cookie sheet to put it on because it's just a lot easier to take in and out. A lot easier to take in and out of the oven because it can get kind of flimsy. So I would recommend putting it on a sheet pan like this cookie sheet or something just to stabilize it so you can take it out of the oven a lot easier. And it's going to go in the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 45 minutes.
45-minute timer start.
And actually, if partway through, like, if you want to wait till like, I don't know, 20 minutes in or 30 minutes, you could put some foil around on the outside of the crust. If it looks like the crust is getting pretty brown or browning, more than like the topping, you can put some foil on the outside on the crust. Or if you have one of these, this goes on the rim on the pie crust, and it kind of slows down the browning process on the crust, so you don't have a burnt crust, because it might sometimes, depending on your oven and etc., the crust might brown faster than the topping will, and then one's going to get more done than the other one. So yeah, this works really well, but you can also cut a foil ring and just kind of place that on top of the crust and allow the topping to continue to brown or bake. So that's it for the pie. I'm planning on making a cheesecake also, because I have some sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna make my own sweet potato cheesecake. It's a long process, so I wasn't gonna go on and do that on video, because it's just gonna take a little while. Plus, I'm not exactly sure how much I'm gonna put in of everything. I'm gonna kind of experiment. I don't have a recipe for it. I'm doing it on my own. I've made tons of cheesecakes before, so I know the basics of it. I'm gonna do like I'm probably gonna do like a cup of sweet potato. I already put those in the oven and to let them soften. Wrapped them in foil. A couple of small sweet potatoes. Wrapped them in foil. Put them in the oven, and they'll probably be done at the same time the pie is. I might check on them before and see how soft they are. But so it'll be around a cup of sweet potato, and then I'm going to use some heavy cream, 3 packages of cream cheese, 3 eggs, some vanilla, little flour. I can't think of anything else. That's the basics. That's all oh, sugar, of course. I forgot about the sugar. Um, Probably a half cup sugar, half cup brown sugar. That's yeah, that's probably what I'm going to go with. Or maybe a third of a cup of each, and then taste it and see how sweet it is, because sweet potatoes obviously have some sweetness in them. So they may not need so much sugar. I'm going to try it out, but I'm not going to go through all that process. I'm also kind of experimenting with the crust, because I don't have any graham crackers or vanilla wafers, any cookies. So I'm going to do a pecan crust. Do some pecans and brown sugar and butter. And I think that should work pretty well. I'm going to pulse the pecans till they're like a flour consistency, and we're going to see how that goes. So I'll at least take pictures of it and post it on notes or whatever later. But I didn't want to do it on video because, like I said, it's an experiment. So I don't want to like show you how to do it if it doesn't turn out very well. I think I'll probably like it, and I'm still going to eat it, but I can't necessarily recommend it to anybody else before I see the results. I'll make another one someday. I've still got a couple sweet potatoes. I got a bunch of sweet potatoes from my mom and dad. They have a big garden, and so I got a few from them. Anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. Uh, I don't know how long I was on here. I didn't pay attention to when I started, but I hope you got something out of this. If you want to make a simple apple pie and don't want to make your own crust, you can just buy the crust already made, and you can make this topping to put on it. It's very easy. You don't have to roll out your own crust or anything like that. So I'm gonna post this a little later. I don't know if I'll have time. Anyway, if you want to support me, go to my publication, please. I would really appreciate it if you can become a paid subscriber and help me out before the end of the year. That would be awesome. Or at least become a free subscriber and watch my stuff and see if you like it. You can upgrade later. So I hope you have a good evening, and for those of you who are celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow, I hope you have a happy one. And I guess that's it for today. I will see you later. Thanks for everybody coming in. Oh, thanks, Bathrobe Guy. There's my publication site if you want to copy and paste that to go visit that. So thanks, and I will see you all probably Monday. All right. See you later.